what could go wrong? Joe Biden telling Fannie Mae to subsidize mortgages for those with bad credit by making those with good credit pay more. For example, someone with a 620 credit score gets a 1.75% fee cut, while someone with a 740 credit score will pay for that with a 1% fee bump. Numbskulls claim this will give poor people equity in housing. Those who are honest enough and have more than 2 brain cells remember this was the Democrats' brainchild that led to the economic collapse of 2008. Back then, Democrats forced banks to lend to people who couldn't pay them back, using the American taxpayers as the backstop. For more, let's bring in the host of the Trish Regan Show and the editor-in-chief of TrishIntel.com, Trish Regan. Great to see you later. We know this game. Democrats pervert the system. When it comes crashing down around them, they say it's capitalists' fault, and they push for government control, communism. I remember that Obama, with Dodd-Frank, exempted Fannie and Freddie, making sure those government-sponsored enterprises could imperil the economy in the future, if needed.
It's funny how quickly history repeats itself.
I know. There's no way this is an accident.
Oh, no, clearly not. I mean, you know exactly what's going on here. There is a complete desire by this administration and by so many on the left right now to basically take from him to pay her, right? They look at the world right now and they say, okay, well, it's not fair that these people have more earning power than these people. And they think they can solve that by just doing this wealth transfer. There was the economics professor, mind you, an economics professor, I'm very disappointed, out of Duke University that came out recently with a grand idea to create equality in the United States of America, Chris, by actually just giving every descendant of a slave here in America $350,000. One-time check. It would cost us $14 trillion because apparently, hey, we just have that hanging around. I mean, so ridiculous. We don't have the money. It wouldn't solve any issues at all, right? Because you just hand somebody a bunch of money. That's not going to fix anything. Just like this whole thing is not going to fix anything. It just means you're going to have more people taking out loans for things they cannot afford. Barney Frank had this grand idea as we led up into the crisis that was 2008. Remember how he just wanted to say, okay, everybody can get a loan? So they had these no income, no asset loans, NINA loans. And look what happened to that. People didn't have to put any money down.
So they
didn't have to have a job.
Yeah.
And then they wound up losing the house.
Exactly. We had a 2008 fiscal calamity and crisis, and Joe Biden says, hey, let's do it again. And, people just keep voting for these Trumps.
You know where this is heading. I mean, Venezuela basically lost its entire economy in a 20-year span.
I can see exactly where it's headed, but you know what? Mitch McConnell's like, well, we got to listen to Democrats, whatever. What is the big economic issue out there that's on your radar that nobody else is talking about out there?
Well, I mean, I think I've hit inflation ad nauseum at this point. I was warning of this as far back as August 2020, you recall. And I said, listen, you're not going to be able to get this under control because you have a Fed that's gone totally wild. The president was doing what he needed to do at the time because the economy had just been totally shut down. But then they did more stimulus. Don't forget, Biden had the 3rd stimulus check. And then he did 2 rounds of more congressional stimulus offers. I mean, it is insane, all while the Fed continues to do its thing. So I think the biggest challenge right now is we kind of try to see our way through all this. Chris, I don't see how this ends well. Because, look, I mean, there's just no way that you can take away the punch bowl and not have a recession. But they don't want a recession because we're going into a presidential election cycle. So what's that do?
Yep. And have you seen gas prices lately? I mean, national average approaching $4 a gallon again. And you, by the way, everybody remembers back in 2008?
In Washington that thought that, okay, we don't need gasoline anymore. You don't need to drill in the United States of America, all while you've got the situation in Ukraine unfolding. It is positively, unbelievably atrocious, basically, how bad they have been on policy. And all of this stuff is so darn obvious. And I think that's what's so crushing to those of us on the sidelines watching it. It's so preventable.
Well, Trish Regan, I know you'll keep an eye on it. We're going to keep an eye on it. And thank you, as always. Happy Friday. Thanks for being here.